Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be doing 4 Sharpie nail designs. Alright, we are going to be starting off with a white nail. You could use a gel polish over it. I like to use Waltz. It's just up to you, but you could use any. Alright, since we are doing it on a white tip, we're just going to go ahead and apply a top coat to the nail. And the one that we are going to be using is from YOUNGNAILS. We're going to want to cure this one for 60 seconds in an LED light. Now that that is cured, we are going to just get the Sharpie and we are going to start making lines. You can do the lines however you like. This is just my personal preference and how I like to do my lines. We are going to get a dabbing dish and we are going to put alcohol in it. This is going to be used to spread out the Sharpie a little bit and disperse it. The brush that we are going to be using is very small. I had got it off of Amazon. And this is where I'm going to show you how we are going to do the lines. Again, you could do it any way that you would like. This is just the way I like to do it. And then you're going to dip the brush in the rubbing alcohol and then you're just going to dab it on there. And with the leftover product on the brush, you're going to go in between on just the white areas, just so it's not so white and everything looks a lot more blended. And you're going to go ahead and keep on doing this until you feel like it is dispersed enough. It's just up to you. Once you start seeing those veiny little lines in there, I like to keep it. You'll see mine at the top. I kind of pointed at it with the brush, but that's what I like, and I'll be keeping that, and I'll just be dispersing all of the other ones around it that look too thick. And then just keep putting your brush in there, and sometimes if you feel like you got too much of the liquid on the brush, all you're going to do is get a paper towel and wipe it on there. I don't have the paper towel in the shop, but I have it off to the side so you can't really see it that much. So sorry about that. Alright, now this is what it looks like. We are going, once you like what it looks like and you feel like it doesn't need to be adjusted anymore, what you're going to do is just go ahead and put a top coat on there. And you could use a top coat of your choice, but just be careful for the ones that you do choose. I like using one a little bit more sticky just because it doesn't smear. And again, this is the YOUNGNAIL one that I had put on before we applied the Sharpie. Right now we're going to go ahead and put in the lamp for 60 seconds. And this is what it looks like. I feel like I could have... Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get started on our next one. We're just going to put squiggly lines all over it and dots in between. And what you could do is just get... I have my rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle as well, so I'd like to spray it on first, just to start getting it runny a little bit. And then I dab my brush into the rubbing alcohol and I just start spotting it on there. And you're just going to want to keep spotting and spotting. You're not going to want to drag the brush, you're just going to want to dab it. And keep on dabbing it until you feel like you get the look that you like. This one is a lot more easier. It's like a no-brainer for this one. It is very, very easy and simple to do. This one, it only takes me very little time to do it. And you're going to want to make sure that you blend up to the cuticle because you see how there's just a little bit of a white gap between there. You don't want that. And if you feel like some areas are too dark, you could just go ahead and get the brush and like dab in there and it'll help get rid of some of that darkness. Alright, this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and get my top coat. And we are going to be putting the top coat on, and as you can see, this top coat does not smear the design whatsoever. And we're going to be putting it in the LED lamp for 60 seconds. Alright, and this is the finished look of this one. Alright, and for our next one, we're just going to be putting lines on the nail, and we are going to be using a sponge for this one, and we're going to be spraying the sponge. I'm going to use a smaller side first just so I can get in those little areas and have a base for it, and then we'll go back and we're going to draw on the sponge and put little dots on it, and then we're going to spray it again. And then just keep on dabbing it until you get the look that you like. You might want to let it dry for a second in between just so you don't wipe it away at the same time. This does get messy on the cuticles, so if you have that sticky tape stuff that you're able to put around the cuticles, you could use that. Or with me, I just use the rubbing alcohol on a brush and I'll go over and I'll clean up the cuticles. It usually comes off for me, but sometimes it's a little bit harder, so I mean, try to be as clean as you can with it because it is Sharpie. Once you start to like what it looks like, you could go ahead and let it just dry for a second. And you're going to just go ahead and put the top coat on it. And again, the gel top coat that I am using, it is from YOUNGNAILS, and we're going to cure it for 60 seconds. Alright, this is what it looks like. I feel like the camera's not picking up how dark it really is, but with the gloss on it, it does tend to do that. Alright, and what we're going to do is be putting a design on it. And this is just an example. You don't have to do it exact, but just to show you something different that you could do with it. And now, since we are going to be doing a design, we are going to be using acetone. And just be cleaning up the lines and making them thinner just because I don't like how thick this side had came out. And then we're going to go ahead and make another line. And just try not to put so much pressure on the brush because when making lines, that's what ends up spreading them out more. And when you have light pressure, it ends up being a clean, nice, straight line. And then if you need to, you could go ahead and clean up the around too. It's nice having it on a gel polished because, or a gel top coat, I mean, because if not, you wouldn't be able to do this without messing up the Sharpie effect that we did on the background. Alright, now here's what it looks like. I'm going to do a step further in putting glitter inside of one of the V's. And you're just going to want to get a small brush. And this is glitter from China Glaze in Deglaze. Alright, and then you're just going to want to paint it on the other brush and start painting it inside of the V. Once you get it to how thick you want the glitter, you could go ahead and just put the gel top coat on it, and it is going to be going for 60 seconds again. And this is what it looks like. It looks gorgeous. This is one of my favorite nail designs. I feel like I'm going to end up using this one a lot more than what I already do. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and put another top coat on this plain white nail for the next one that we're going to be doing. And this one is very simple. It's just lines. So you're just going to want to get the Sharpie and squiggle a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. I feel like it looks better this way. And what had inspired me for this design is a shirt that I had actually. It is just a striped blur, like it's a blurry striped shirt. So this is kind of what inspired me to do this. But yeah, you could keep going over the lines until you get them the way that you want. Just keep on dipping it into the rubbing alcohol. Once that is finished, we are going to put the YOUNGNAIL gel top coat on it and then cure it for the 60 seconds. And now that it's done, this is the finished look. I am going to show you what it looks like if we were to put rhinestones on it. I'm not going to glue them down just because since this is a sample nail, I just dragged the wax pencil on there just enough for it to stick on there. So that's why I feel like it's a little bit easier to move them around and stuff, just to show you, because that's all this is for. Alright, and we're going to want to keep on putting them on there and just doing a straight line, and once you're done, you could push them around. But when you're using glue, you want to make sure your line is straight from the beginning. This is a little bit harder just because it is not glue. It's just the wax pencil holding them on. Alright guys, this is the finished product. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'll be back with more videos.